So now it's time to go head-to-head for the Giants' playoff matchup with the Minnesota Vikings. Shaun, let's see who's up first. Darius Slayton against Patrick Peterson. Now, Slayton is 6th in the NFL with an average yards per catch of 15.7 a pop. Against Minnesota last month, 4 receptions for 79 yards. All 4 went for first down, Shaun. Big play man for the Giants. Peterson, on the other hand, tied for 5th in the NFL with 5 interceptions. And last time against the Giants, he had a pick, he had 4 tackles, and he also did allow 1 touchdown catch. The Giants know he is a crafty veteran who could hurt you at any time.
Yeah, I mean, he's a really good veteran player, been a good player in this league for a long time. You know, at the end of the day, no matter who it is across from you, you got to find a way to beat him. And that varies guy to guy, but for somebody like him, you know, he definitely got to be aware of his ability to, you know, read splits, read your body language, things like that. But as long as I play my game, you know, I think I'll be all right.
Darius Slayton had 4 catches for 79 yards, and you mentioned that yards per catch, 19.8 yards per catch. So big play Slay was definitely on display against Minnesota in Week 16. I went back and looked at that film, Paul, and one of the things that jumped out at me was the respect they showed Darius Slayton for his speed. Early in the first quarter, he ran a couple of great routes. He ran a deep out route against Patrick Peterson, and he turned him around, basically. Ball was a little high by Daniel Jones. He was a little geeked up to play. And then later on in the first quarter, he runs a deep in cut against Shelley, and same exact thing. Ball's a little bit high. But what both corners showed was the respect for that speed and that deep playability of Slayton. Now, this is a great matchup because you mentioned the crafty veteran right here in Patrick Peterson. All right, this guy is not your typical corner. He's not staring in at the quarterback. He's reading the body language of the receiver, reading the routes. And we saw him jump the Hodges on the interception that you mentioned back in Week 16. He read that route so well. He will jump on routes. He will jump. If he sees a receiver break in, he will jump it, which makes him susceptible to the double move. I wouldn't be shocked to see the Giants try to hit him with that double move, try to find a way to either get a big penalty, he has 7 penalties on the season, or get a big play to Slayton. But this will be a fun little matchup, and when you kind of look at down in the red zone, that's where I think they're going to try to take advantage of Patrick Peterson. He has allowed 3 touchdowns this season. 2 of them were in the red zone, and one of them to Isaiah Hodgins, where he just kind of lost him in the shuffle as DJ scrambled with his feet.
So he can be tricky, Shaun. He will bait quarterbacks whenever possible. He is second among active NFL players with 34 career interceptions. Well, we go to our next matchup. And it's Xavier McKinney, who missed that first game against Minnesota because of a hand injury, against TJ Hockenson. McKinney's been targeted 23 times by quarterbacks this year and only allowed 12 completions. The Giants will be very happy to get him back because Hockenson is number 2 in the National Football League amongst tight ends in receptions and in yards. Last time against the Giants, a career-high 13 receptions for 102 yards and 2 touchdowns. This is a guy who can burn you from anywhere on the field.
I mean, he's one of the the best tight ends in the league. So he's gonna make plays. But he did a lot of things well. The last game we played him, obviously they schemed up things, for him to, be able to play well. But he had a great game, and we know that. So we just got to go in, go into this game knowing, that he can, is capable of what he did last game, and do our best to minimize that.
Yeah, Xavier McKinney, no doubt, will have his hands full. You mentioned the big game that he had against the Giants, TJ Hockenson had against the Giants back in Week 16. I think the challenge is going to be finding TJ Hockenson and where is he formationally. He's not a down-the-seam, middle-of-the-field kind of tight end. He's a lot more of a quick out route guy or a quick pass guy or a design scheme. They love to throw tight end screens to him. So the challenge defensively for Xavier McKinney and the rest of the Giants is find TJ Hockenson. Where are you trying to hide him? Where are you trying to disguise him based on the way he lines up? And one little key that I picked up watching some film is when you see him in motion a lot, in a passing play, a lot of times they're doing that to try to create space for him and create different elements for him in the passing game to get open. So it'll definitely be a challenge for Xavier McKinney. I think everything will be in front of him. The big challenge, not just in coverage, Paul, it's tackling this guy. He's a tough tackle, a little bit like George Kittle. The first guy doesn't always bring him down. So Xavier, he's going to have him in front of him, but he's got to make sure he tackles him after the catch.
You mentioned the 2 touchdown catches against the Giants. Both came in the red zone. That shouldn't be a surprise. He has 6 touchdown catches on the season. 5 have come from within the red zone. That'll do it for Head to Head this week.